So, still you persist in this.
Alright guys, welcome back to episode 17 of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and here we found that the Ultimo that we faced in maybe the last episode, or the one before that, is not indeed the only Ultimo that the Mandarin has, as here is the Ultimo Mark II. So now we're into our next mini-boss fight here. And this first off, we're pointed in the right... Okay, now we're pointing in the right direction. So see, he's got to come up these stairs, and he's pretty tall. So what I decided to do was just stay the heck away from him. And just try to pelt him from distance. Now, the problem was that, first off, Spider-Man's still running out of his special power juice a little too quickly for my liking. So we have to run close in order to be able to kick him. Right now he's... So that did enable him to get a couple of hits on us. But he wasn't all that hard to bring down, really. And so we were able to move on past the giant corpse of the robot. And I was thinking that, you know, maybe this would be the last giant robot that we'd see here. Thinking that we were moving pretty close to where the end of the level should be. And that really, you know, the Mandarin boss fight should be pretty close. But you can see that while there's nothing exciting hiding around here, you know, we have to go up to the top and we're going to have another... well, I take it back. We got some more friends. These are speed-enhanced Shaolin monks, and as a result, they are red in color. Or not red, purple in color. And you can see there's a focus upgrade over here on the left, and there's a body upgrade over here on the right. And I was debating about what character to give these things to. You know, later on in the playthrough, I won't, you know, there's going to be so many opportunities to sort of affect stat changes like this. So I'm not going to care much which character I gave him to. I gave Body to Venom and Focus to Miss Marvel at this point in time. But from what I understand, Focus just helps you get more experience points. I think Body helps you take more damage. I'm not sure that doing this has made all that much difference, really. Right, so we break some more of the Mandarin stuff and head down the stairs here. And it seems pretty quiet. Where are the enemies? Oh, well, looks like my compatriots have found them up on the top of the staircase. In fact, they found a regenerating Shaolin healer. Fortunately, there was nothing for him to heal, because the Shaolin monk decided to show up later. Looks like we broke a statue. And grabbed some health and these ability things to refill our gauges. And aha, we have a friend. It's Benedict Cumberbatch. So yeah, you can run down and help Dr. Strange down here.
Greetings, my friends. It is most fortuitous that you chose to arrive when you did. Mandarin's minions were becoming quite bothersome. A precious magical item known as the Orb of Agamotto was stolen from me. I managed to track it to this location. I do not know how Mandarin intends to use it, but I must retrieve the orb immediately. Splendid. Let's team up and see what we can find, shall we?
And so this is one of those opportunities where you can team up with an extra character. So now we have Dr. Strange with us. And we need to find his Orb of Agamotto, not to be confused with the Eye of Agamotto, which I believe is already on Doctor Strange's person. I did enjoy the Doctor Strange movie last November when I saw it, but I'm pretty sure that both of the Marvel movies that I've seen this year so far, which would be, now granted Logan was made by Fox, but that would be Logan and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think both of those movies were better movies than the Doctor Strange movie. So here we go, running down this stairway. We've got things just sort of spawning out of, well, I say spawning out of nothingness. I don't actually know what would be in this room. Getting a little teamwork going on with Venom. One difference about this game and its successor game is that the team-up moves are involuntary. You know, you just happen to sort of luck into a combo where you and one of your other characters are doing a certain action at the same time. But you do get defense bonuses. So with those guys popping up here, what I decided to do was let my team take them head on, and then I would show up on the flank basically and help them, and sort of help clean up. Didn't exactly work that way because the team still, even though I'm trying to be the support gunner kind of character, the team still treats me as the team leader point man. So, when I back off, they back off, even though what I would prefer is that they keep fighting while I just adjust my position. Right, got some more guys here in this next hallway over, including a simulator disc, this one for the Crimson Dynamo. I prefer those simulator discs unlock a bunch of simulator missions that you can access from the Stark version of the hub world, or I think any version of the hub world really. And my favorite simulator missions are the ones where you can use a full team to take on a horde of villains and then find a bad guy at the end. Not all of them are like that. Some are solo type missions, and some of them, the missions are kind of restrictive based on the enemies they choose. Like I find the curse mission kind of annoying for that reason, because curse can only be killed a certain way that we'll talk about when we actually get to get further along, where curse might actually become applicable. So now we fought our way to the middle of this little extra area, and if you'll notice, Miss Marvel's got the circulating object right there. That's one of her abilities. I forget exactly the name of it, but it's my preferred ability for her because, eventually she can level it up just where she can create two of them, and they will go off and attack enemies by themselves if enemies are real close. So you can actually get extra damage in, or you can kind of shield off low-level enemies with them. But we're still making our way deeper into the Mandarin's palace here. My only complaint about, or one of my, I guess I've complained about several things in the Mandarin's palace, but
I don't have enough energy.
Everything does tend to look the same. And unlike some of the other levels where there were different areas like inside areas, outside areas, in places that just had different feels, a lot of the architecture in here all looks the same. And so you're not really sure where, what part of the level you would be in if I was to just dump you somewhere in the level. So this, kind of dragon theme, seemed kind of cool when we started, but, now getting through the level. I'm kind of running out of patience with it. But there's nothing hiding behind these dragons. So we're going to go ahead and run up the staircase. There is an enemy over here on the right. It looks like there's a door we can't go through. I'm not sure if it's... Okay, well I tried to attack that Shaolin monk, and unfortunately I fell all the way down. So I'm going to lift myself up here. And attempt to attack Miss Marvel, but that's not really what we were... Not really what we were going for there. Right, we're going to sort of crash into the unknown here in this room. Looks like everybody ran downstairs. And then, of course, instead of finishing people off, you know, they ran back upstairs. I think Doctor Strange was the only one sort of stayed down there to fight, and he's... I want to say he's essentially invulnerable, but I could be wrong about that.
Everyone all right?
Again, they're just kind of looking around every nook and cranny here. You know, at this point, I don't know where everything is. And, you know, it really wasn't until my second or third playthrough that I figured out where everything was. And this, of course, as I've stated before, was my first playthrough of this game. So if there was a surprise for me, you know, you're going to see it. Okay, well there's some more Shaolin monks hiding back here, probably some more regenerator type, oh no, altered genetics. These, I don't exactly know what that means. Obviously they have altered stats in some way, but I don't know exactly how their stats are altered, whether they have better attack, better defense, better everything. But we finally made it to a treasure chest with a big statue behind it.
Very well done, my friends. We've located the orb. In return for aiding me, I will now make myself available to join your team, should you require my talents.
And so Doctor Strange leaves us in time for a big number of enemies to join us. But now would be a good time to point out something that is going to pop up later. Even though you theoretically unlock Doctor Strange at this point, the Xbox 360 version of the game has a little bit of a glitch involving its achievements. And I don't know if this is a glitch that happens all the time or just some of the time, or if it only happens to me. But I know better than that. It's happened to more people than just me. But basically, the first time you unlock a character, like we just did with Doctor Strange, you know, there's an achievement for doing that. And as we use Spider-Man's ultimate attack here to clean out these 5 guys, when you unlock Doctor Strange, the game, you know, credits you as having unlocked him for, I think, an achievement. And then, after the achievement is given, the game relocks Doctor Strange because the achievement is no longer active, or something screwy like that. But in the end, you can't... In the end, I was unable to unlock Doctor Strange through conventional means, even though, again, you saw he theoretically should have been unlocked. So, when I got done playing, I did have to fire a cheat code to get Doctor Strange and the other unlockable characters like Daredevil and Black Panther. Long after I'd finished the requirements to unlock them, and as a result, it became impossible for me to unlock the achievement for getting the Silver Surfer, because when I did the Unlock All Characters code, Silver Surfer was unlocked as well, which prevented me from unlocking him the traditional way, which was to do all the simulator missions. So here's some statues and some flying traps. Now, you can actually destroy these traps to get access to items behind here, but I didn't know that at the time.
Those incompetent louts throughout my palace. You shall soon learn the foolishness of such bravado. My rings of power will annihilate you. Insolent cur.
Alright, so here we are into the final boss fight, and this is the first stage of the final, or sorry, this is the first stage of the boss fight where you're just fighting the Mandarin himself, and honestly, other than, you know, some magic that he can pull to make you freeze or whatnot, he's not that tough. You know, he's having a lot of fun picking on Venom, but, you know, other than that, okay, the Whirlwind was kind of neat, but, you know, we got him down to about half his power, and then he warps away.
Not at all. I merely have a new experiment. Allow me to introduce my latest creations. I think they'll be quite attractive to you.
Alright, so he's unleashed these little, I guess, heat-seeking bug bombs. Their whole deal is that they explode.
It would appear my creations aren't enough, but fear not. My prototypes of Ultima Mark III have more than a...
And I hope you weren't tired of robots just yet, because he's going to send in, theoretically, his best version of the robots. Although they're not as strong as the Ultima Mark II. Notice, of course, he did call them prototypes. And the game doesn't exactly tell you what you're supposed to do at this point, but there's a couple things to take note of. First off, the robots come in to the arena through teleportation areas. Those teleportation pads actually lead to where the Mandarin is hiding. I did not know this at this point in time. So I was sort of waiting for, you know, the sort of beat up enough of these guys, and I just happened to wander into the teleporter. Of course, so when you teleport in, you can see that you immediately get attacked by an Ultimo prototype. So that's the game's hint that you need something to clear the way for you to get into there. And the thing that you should be using, or trying to figure out to use, should be pretty obvious now that I've explained that something needs to blow up. See, there we went in without any help. So that, yeah, the game will tell you you kind of need to blow them up with something. Well, there's stuff running around the map that will blow things up. So the new trick will then be, how do we use these little bugs, and they're running around explodey versions, and get them into these teleporter pads. And in that case, we were very close to actually getting the bug on the pad, but it had already detonated by the time we went in, so we were chased out and handed the Ultimo Mark III. So that will be our task for next episode, is defeating the Mandarin boss in the way that is intended, and not just keep bouncing back there so they can shoot us back out, as long as there are Ultimos in the room. So I'll see you guys when we find a better way to fight them next time.